Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how I have built a coin exit sheet for my Bitcoin and various other cryptocurrencies. I'm going to show you how this works initially, and if it's anything like something you might use, then you can continue with the video and I'll show you how to build it. Okay, so here we have a little section at the top which just summarizes your holdings, your average purchase price, your live prices, I will show you how to get those. In this particular video, I'm just going to go through the Excel live price connection, so it's quite limited to the number of coins it brings through on its currency section here on the data tab. So if that's not what you want, that's all we're doing in this particular video. I will do more on using API. For the purposes of this sheet, that's all we're going to do. We have total cost, total current value, and current value in the local currency. I'm using sterling here because I'm in the UK. And then we've got an average sale price based on our ladder selling schedule, and an estimated all-time high, what we think we're going to be the maximum that we can sell out at, and then profit and loss calculations and our return on investment. This section here will take transactions. It will calculate a weighted transaction price, so it'll give you an average cost of your coins that you purchased, and then a wallet so that you can track where they all are and the summary of how much is in each wallet. And then the ladder selling will just basically take your first selling price, your final selling price, will proportion that out, and then you can play around with what percentage of your portfolio you want to sell at what price point, and it will tell you here the red ones you're still in debt. You're still in the red for the amount of money that you've spent on your coins, and then as soon as it turns green, you're in profit. So you can play around with these percentages and these exit points, and that will change accordingly. You can also add rows, etc. So the rest of this video now will show you how I have built this and what formulas you need to put in each section to get this same result. If you want to shortcut that, there's a link in the description to download a free copy of the coin sheet, and to my Etsy shop, which has a number of other things that you might want to look at. Okay, enjoy the video. Okay, so now we know how that works, we can start to build a fresh one. So I've kept this in the same sheet, so it's much easier to show you how it relates to the original one. So first of all, this top section, which is the summary, I'm going to link the holdings to the full transaction amount here. Now, at the moment it says 0, but as soon as I put something in there, you'll see that that changes. So we'll put today's date on there. Now the format's different. If you want that to be in a different way, then you can change that up here in the number format drop down. Transaction amount, transaction price. So I'm going to put 53,000. And the total transaction value. And we work that out by putting equals, because that means obviously a formula. And we're going to say transaction price times transaction amount. And that gives us that. So I'm going to pull it all the way down. So that will calculate for every single cell. Don't worry about that, it shouldn't be there. It will calculate for every single cell in the table. So as you add new ones, say it's another one there, we're going to do that same amount. Here we go. So as you see, this adds up and this calculates here what the average price is. So I've put the same transaction amount in, I've put the same transaction price, and obviously I've paid the same amount. So you can see my average is going to be 53. Now if I actually made 0.02 of a purchase, and that one was 65, and you can see my weighted average here. So that's an add. You can see here the sum, quite easy. All you would do is go in that column and press auto sum, and it adds up that column. Same here with transaction value, auto sum adds up that column. This, because we want it to be weighted, is, I'll do it again so you can see how I've done it, equals the transaction value divided by like the transaction amount, gives us an average of how much each part cost. So we can then say, there we go, there's my average transaction price. A live price, I want it to be BTC US dollar. So I'm going to put BTC USD here, okay? And then I'm going to go to data. I'm going to go to currencies. I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller so we can see it. I'm going to put that down to 10. See, it's looked it up from the currency tab. And this little box here appears. I click on that. I can choose price. Now that's just popped the price in there. It's obviously a little bit big, so we'll just make it a little bit smaller again. I don't really want it to sit up there, I want it to sit down here. So I actually want that to be in here. Instead. So that's actually our live price. I'm going to delete it from there, I don't need it there anymore. So I've now got a live price. So that will refresh itself every, I don't know how frequently, but it will refresh itself frequently. And so that will always be updated. Total cost, I'm going to reference this cell here, because that's exactly how much everything's cost us. Current value, I'm going to work that out and say, okay, current value is my holdings times my live price. Now, I've got a local currency here. You could do this with yours as well. So I actually want US dollars GBP. Okay. I go then again to the data tab and currency. It's spotted it. I say I want the price. Okay. We can leave that there. We can actually just make them a little bit smaller, a bit less conspicuous. And then I can say, okay, my currency, my current value then, instead of being dollars, I wanted it in sterling, so I'm going to just do that. My dollar value divided by, times by the conversion. So now I've got my current value in sterling. Now, if you wanted, you could do any. I've got GBP, you could put EUR, anything. You can see it would change. So as long as it's in the directory, then it'll look it up. Price is just a note for yourself, really. No calculations there. Average exit price, we're going to work out in a minute. That's going to come from this bottom bit. Previous all-time high, quite a useful thing to put in. An estimated all-time high, we absolutely have to put this one in. So I'm going to put 125,000. This is what I think it's going to, this is my last point where I'm going to sell out. Portfolio total, that and profit and loss, we can work those all out after we've finished this section at the bottom. So when we're looking at ladder selling and getting the exit, I'm going to say my first sale is going to be at 75,000. I am going to, it's my first exit, that's my second exit, third, fourth, and fifth. So 5 exits, last exit 125, first exit 75,000. I'm going to sell 5%, then 5, then 5, then 5, then 5. So I'm only selling 25% of what I've got over the whole duration and over that price range. So basically the calculation here is for the sale amount, you want the percent of your holdings, which is this here, times your holding amount. So if you notice here, this has got a dollar sign in front of it, which fixes the sell. So if I was going to do that again, I would go, right, okay, sale amount is whatever's in there times by whatever's in that cell. Then I'm going to just get hold of this cell here and press F4, and then I can move that all the way down, and it's always going to look at C3. If I didn't fix it, it would move it and say, I'm going to look at C4, C5. So you can see here, as we move the percentages, you can see it's 110%. We don't want to settle that, do we? Okay, so you can see then how much that is. You can see the total adds up to your total holding amount. And you can also see your total sale value, which is really, really important. So if we sell based on this schedule, that's how much we're going to return. Now, cost plus minus here at the end is a little bit of extra kind of help when you're scheduling how you're going to sell things out. We know it's cost us $1,830 to acquire this amount of Bitcoin. If we sell the first amount at that amount at 75,000, that's how much we get returned. Therefore, we're only now down 1,700. Then we're down 1,400 after the second sale. So you can see these red dots here show that we're still underwater. We're still owed money on the original. So in this particular scenario, we only actually make money when we're on our last sale. Let's put it in manually. So I want the original cost to be a minus value. So minus that plus my sale value. Okay, and then if I do, okay, where I was previously plus my next sale value, hold of that, and then I can range that down. Now this column is not part of the table. Click here, you can see this is table design. Just look at resizing the table. You can see the table just runs from B27 to G33, so it's just this part of it. I didn't want this to be part of the table so that it didn't pull the calculations down. So it's just for your information. So if you wanted to change that now, if you wanted that to be 25%, you can see, we get that to 20, just for example. You can see you get free and clear much earlier, much sooner. The final part of this is this number of exits calculation here. So it's a very simple count if calculation that you can see at the top. So all it means is if there's a number in this column, it'll count it. It's just an easy way of checking. If I take out number 5, this is now only dividing 4 exits, and you see now my top sale price is there at number 4, my exits there at number 4. So it's just a simple way of working out exactly how many. So if you were to add, let's add some columns below. I'm just going to get hold of the table column here. There we go. Table row. I'm going to insert a row below. I'm going to say that's number 6. I'm going to say that's 50 and that's 5 just for ease. And then I'm going to take these two calculations here, pull them down. So no, I haven't done it yet. And then I'm going to pull that down as well. So this has reworked out what we'd calculated as our sale value. As you can see, all these numbers at the top have changed. Everything because we linked the cells, we didn't put the numbers in. And that's now changed to 6 exits. So it's changed what we need to sell at each intervention there. So that gives you a really good idea of what the coin sheet does. There is another sheet that I have developed that has a summary sheet on the front. So what that will do is that will take every coin sheet, if you have multiple coin sheets, all with an exit plan, and then it will work out what your expected ROI is on each one of those coins, and it will add it up so you have a total portfolio. And when you have all those together with the summary sheet, then that feeds back into this portfolio section here and gives you a percentage. It helps you manage risk if you've got a lot of maybe smaller cap coins. But again, any of these elements here, these are just things that I think might be useful. They're useful for me in my particular coin sheets. But you can change them if they're not relevant to you and they're not part of the calculations. Then please feel free to just delete them, don't put them there in, or change them to something that you think is more useful to you. Okay, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.